She's an Olympic gold medalist, a three-time All-Star, and a powerhouse on the court. I'm talking about Napheesa Collier. She's a WNBA player with the Minnesota Lynx, and she joins me now. Napheesa, thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
There's a lot of momentum right now with women's basketball, and you're right in the thick of it as a player. How are you feeling about everything?
It's been great. The energy around this season has been amazing. You can really see the difference of, even in my time here, this is my sixth season, and the difference from when I came in, just the level of excitement and awareness in the general public of the W has grown so much. Obviously, this rookie class has just exploded as well.
We hear a lot about, what the WNBA should be doing, and there's so much work to do, and we understand that. But let's talk about what the W is doing right in terms of laying that foundation for the pathway of, as you said, new talent to come, new fans to get engaged. So talk a little bit about that.
I think just continuing to get as much viewership as we can, posting on lots of different social platforms. That's the number one thing, is social media, right? We've seen that if we're put on TV, people watch it. And so you can no longer say people don't watch women's sports, because it's just not true. We've seen the data, we've seen the numbers. And if you give us people a place to watch us, they do. It's really hard because everyone is so critical of the W. And there are things that we need to change. There's always ways to improve and get better, but sometimes we do need to take a step back and think about all that we've accomplished up until this point.
So take us back to the beginning. What was it like growing up, and when did you fall in love with basketball?
So I've always been a part of a sports family. So I played sports my entire life. I played soccer, softball, I ran track, I played volleyball. And I was actually a pitcher for softball in fourth grade, and my first basketball coach saw me and she's like, "Hey, you look tall. You want to try out for my basketball team?" I was like, "Oh, that's a sport I haven't tried yet." So sure. I just fell in love with the physicality of the sport, the team aspect of it. It was so fun. I was good at it right away. So that helps a lot, especially in fourth grade when you're 12 years old.
Outside of playing basketball, you're also an entrepreneur. Can you tell me how you're creating more space for women to get into basketball?
Yes, so I'm starting a league, co-founding a league along with Breanna Stewart called Unrivaled. And it's a 3-on-3 league that's going to launch in January of 2025. And we're just really excited to give elite players another opportunity to play in the States and not have to go overseas. We're really excited about what we're paying the players salary-wise, paying professional athletes what they deserve, the player experience. So there's a lot of things that we are really excited to tell everyone about and to get this league up and running.
The players in the W are always at the forefront of activism and advocacy. Can you tell me why you're using your platform to speak out about climate change?
There are a lot of eyes on us. A lot of people watch us and look up to us. And so, in my opinion, I think it's, our responsibility to speak up for things that we think are right or injustices that we see. And for me, one of those things is, climate change. And so that's why I've been, a part of Eco Athletes, which is basically a group of athletes that bring awareness about the climate and climate change and what's going on Earth and how we can, protect it for future generations.
When I mention the name Sylvia Fowles, what comes to mind? And how are you continuing her legacy of leadership playing with the Minnesota Lynx?
She's one of the first people that took me under her wing when I came to Minnesota, which is honestly really rare. And especially as the type of caliber of player that she is, a Hall of Famer, best on her team, best post player in the league, to be so open and just inviting towards me was amazing. You never want to be exactly like someone, but you want to take pieces of them that you admired and what worked and mold that into what your leadership style is.
You're heading to Paris for your second Olympic Games. How are you hoping to make an impact this time around?
I do feel like I have a bigger role this time where I'll get more playing time and I'll have more responsibility, which is really fun. I get to play with the best players in the world against the best players in the world. So I'm really excited for it.
You were quoted as saying to have amazing young players come in to build upon the great players that were already here. The fandom that's coming with these young players, it's like never before. Can you talk a little bit about, just sort of your perspective on that?
Finally, viewership is up and people are watching us. And so that brings fandom, and that has only recently happened. So the fandom is really around the young players a lot. But we've always had amazing players. And so they have really laid the groundwork. It's just rewarding to see that people are catching up to the gem that we always knew that we had.
Napheesa, it's been amazing talking to you. I feel like we could talk and talk and talk for hours. Good luck with the rest of the season, and I definitely have to make it out to a Lynx game.
Yes, thank you. Let me know.